Today we're going to take a look at creating the toolpath for your last man standing game so we can cut it on a CNC mill. To begin with that, we're going to come up to our ribbon bar at the top and we're going to select open, and we're going to go to our H drive, first initial last name 000 where you saved it, and we're going to select our last man standing with our last name. Click open and it will load for you shortly. Now, we're still in the drawing area, the CAD area of Inventor. We're going to change to the CAM area. So if you go up to the top above the ribbon bar, you're going to find these tabs along the top. We're going to change to the CAM tab. Once we're in the CAM tab, the first thing we need to do is go up and set up our toolpaths. So we're going to go up here to the top ribbon bar and we're going to click Setup. Our model browser in the left-hand side of our screen changes. And what we want to do in this menu, we want to work from left to right across the tabs, and each tab we want to work from top to bottom. So this first tab, we're going to change the origin from stock box point. We're going to change it to model origin. That shifts the origin to the lower left-hand corner. Going to the next tab across, we're going to change where it says stock offset mode. We're going to choose this menu here and we want no additional stock. And you can see that enters in our block dimensions correctly. Then we're going to come to our third tab, and where it says program name or number, we're going to highlight what's there and we're going to type in last man standing and your last name. Once you're finished with that, select OK from the menu at the bottom, and there's our setup folder right in there. The next thing that we need to do is we're going to take a look at drilling the 4 holes or 15 holes that are in here, and then we're going to pocket this area next. So in order to do that, we're going to go up to our ribbon bar and we're going to find our drilling option. Once again, these tabs we're going to work from left to right, touching every single tab, and we work each tab from top to bottom. The first thing in this tab we need to do is select our tool. So we're going to click Tool, and our tool menu is going to open up. Now, we previously added tools to this. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you should see Butler MS Tool Library. If you see Butler MS Tool Library, you can come up here and these 3 tools that are in here, you're going to choose tool number 1, which is 1/8 inch flat. If you don't see Butler MS Tool Library, I put them in a different spot for you. You can come up here and you want to find Sample Libraries and go to End Mills. And in the End Mills, you should see those 3 same tools. You want to choose 1/8 inch flat. And then at the bottom of this menu, click Select. And that shows the tool that we'll be drilling with right there. Moving across to our second tab, it wants us to click the geometry. So we're going to come up and we're going to select each one of these 15 holes as it highlights. Just bring your mouse over the top of them or your cursor over the top of them. When it highlights, click to select it. Once you have all 15 of those clicked, we're going to come across to your next tab. On the third tab is when we establish our heights. We need to change these top 3 here. The first one was our clearance height. We're going to change to model top. And we're going to change our clearance height here to 0.2. Second one down, we're going to change from stock top. We're going to change to model top. 0.2 is what we want. And our third one for feed height, we're going to change to model top, and our feed height dimension is 0.2. When you're finished with that, let's go to our last tab across the top. This one shows us that we're doing a drilling and that it's going to be a wrap it out after it's done. Once you have those 4 tabs edited, we're going to come down to the bottom in this menu in our browser and we're going to click OK. If you would like, you can come up to the top for this operation, click Simulate. And then down here in the bottom of your screen, if you click play, it'll show you what that tool is doing to drill the holes. Pretty cool. Next, we're going to click close in this bottom left-hand corner of the menu. Close out of simulation. Now we need to run the toolpath to cut this pocket for the peg storage. So we're going to come up to our ribbon bar at the top and we want to find 2D pocket. In our 2D milling area, find 2D pocket. Click to select it. Once again, these tabs across the top, we're going to work from left to right, and each tab we're going to go from top to bottom. The first thing we're going to do is choose our tool. Once again, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to Butler MS Tool Library and select 1/8 inch flat, or you're going to go to the end mills in sample libraries and choose 1/8 inch flat. They're the same tools. Click select once you have that identified. Shows our tool again. Once our tool is selected, we're going to go across to our second tab where we're going to choose our geometry. Now when we choose our geometry, bring your cursor into your screen onto your part, and we want the bottom of that pocket identified. Make sure you're not clicking the outside edge or the side or the top edge. We want this bottom part highlighted and click. Going across to your third tab. We're going to change these top three once again, just as we did in the other one. We're going to change retract height to model top, and this is going to be 0.2 for the dimensions. Retract height, we're going to change to model top and 0.2. Your feed height, we're going to change to model top and 0.2. Once you have those selected, we're going to move on to our fourth button, or fourth tab across. In this one, we want to uncheck stock to leave. So we're going to machine right to the edge of our box. We're not going to have any additional stock. Moving across to our last tab, we're going to uncheck lead in, uncheck lead out, and we're going to change our ramp style from helix to plunge. Once you have those selected, click OK. And it's going to process those up here. When you're done, in order to see the whole tool paths run, click your setup, one over here in the model browser. Click simulate, that selects both of those operations. We can click stock over here on the left hand side. That turns your stock on, and then when you click play, it's going to run through and it's going to show you your tool paths as if the CNC mill is cutting it out. Great job. Next thing that we need to do is we need to post-process this. Before we do that, we're going to close out our simulation window. Click close in the bottom left corner here. And we're going to come up to the top next to simulate, and we're going to select post-process. Here what we want to do is we want to change, make sure this is saying 1_Butler MS Techno Easel. That's the type of mill that we have. We also want this output folder. We're going to change this. We want this to go to your H drive. So from the menu at the top, nothing's showing up here. So if you have nothing showing up here from the pull down menu at the top, we're going to go over to the side menu and we're going to select your first initial last name 000, your H drive. And I am going to put this in my H drive. Okay, it doesn't look like anything's here, even though there is. We're going to click select folder. And then your name, last man standing, and Lammers should be typed in there, or last man standing and your last name should be typed in there. If it's not, highlight this here and enter your name and last man standing. When you're finished with that, select post. Click save. And this editor window opens up that shows you all your M&G codes and coordinates is here in the left hand side. You can see your name at the top of it. This window, when it opens up, click the X in the upper right hand corner to close it out. Now we're going to go up to File in the left hand corner and we're going to save, and that updates our part to have all the tool paths. So right here what we're looking at is the CAM area. That's the toolpaths that are run by the machine. And the next tab over, our Model tab, shows us all of our drawing commands. Make sure you go to File and Save. Congratulations, you're now ready to cut your part.